Hi everyone, I'm Mihika and I'm a Cloud Solutions Architect at Intel. In this demo, you'll see AI inferencing on Intel Xeon CPUs with Intel AMX AI acceleration on Nutanix Enterprise AI. All the inferencing here is done on CPU, showing that depending on your AI use case and SLAs, GPUs might not be required for AI inference. Today, I'm going to be showcasing a simple agentic AI use case for loan approvals. For this example, a customer is going to chat with an agent to request a loan. The agent will then work through a business workflow to gather the details and determine whether they qualify for the said loan. That decision is then passed down to a human advisor, helping to automate the process end to end, all while running on Nutanix Enterprise AI. So here we have our Flowwise UI, along with our flow running on Nutanix, which is orchestrating our loan agent. As you can see, the flow is pretty simple. So we have a start node, which then feeds into the agent. This agent is powered by a Quen model, which is hosted locally on Nutanix Enterprise AI and connected to an MCP server that gives the agent access to our loan decisioning tools. Both the model and the tool connections run entirely on Nutanix infrastructure, so customer data never has to leave the enterprise. And here we have some information about the flow as well. So now let's see this in action. I'm going to go ahead and interact with the chatbot using this chat panel. And I'm going to go ahead and interact with it as if I was a customer that was requesting a loan. So I'm going to start off by saying, hi, I'd like to borrow some money. And we can go ahead and see what information the chatbot requests further. So as you can see, it's going to go ahead and ask for how much we'd like to borrow, gross monthly income, and current monthly debt and payments, if any. So I'm going to go ahead and just input a sample response that a customer might be requesting for. And as you can see, the chatbot is now taking into consideration the information that I've inputted. To proceed, I'm going to have to go ahead and give a sample name and number, which I will go ahead and input. And as you can see, the chatbot is now going to spit out essentially the two types of loans that I was eligible for based on the information that I inputted. Once the conversation wraps up, the agent automatically hands this information off to a human advisor, however, not empty-handed. So here is the sample automated email that the advisor is going to receive. As you can see, it is going to contain the contact information of the customer's requested loan, the credit assessment, and every offer that was presented by the chatbot. So this was all generated automatically so that the advisor can pick up the conversation with full context instead of starting from scratch when meeting with the customer. And all of this is going to be powered by Nutanix Enterprise AI and hosted by a model right here on this platform. So if we go to local endpoints, you can see we are hosting the Quen 3 model, which is now active and ready and running locally. And we have full visibility into the metrics as well as the number of successful requests and input and output tokens as well. As you can see, this model is running on Intel CPUs with all inference done on CPU and accelerated by built-in Intel AMX AI acceleration. AMX is going to be built into every Xeon from the 4th generation onward, including our latest Xeon 6 as well. We can also go ahead and see the usage in the metrics tab, which essentially shows request trends, token usage, and cache token usage as well. And we can also go ahead and look at the performance. So this essentially shows us the latency, number of requests waiting at the inference engine, and time to first token, as well as time per output token. And the agent also needs to actually talk to our business systems, and that's what the MCP handles. So here we have our loan connector, which is an MCP server running on Nutanix that exposes our loan decisioning tools to the agent. So this is essentially what lets the agent pull in credit assessment and generate those offers that we saw a moment ago instead of the model just kind of guessing an answer. And just like the model, it is going to be fully observable. So as you can see, we can see the successful requests and the request trends and connector latency in the usage tab. Every call the agent makes into our business logic is tracked in real time, and that combination with a local model plus governed observable tool access through MCP is what is going to make this a production ready pattern and not just a chatbot demo. So, to conclude, this is a great example of how an enterprise can implement agentic AI to create real efficiencies within a business workflow. Instead of a customer having to speak to a human first, they can simply communicate with an agent, which will then handle the initial conversation, gather what's needed, and only bring in a human where a human is actually required. And all of this is running securely on their own infrastructure with Nutanix Enterprise AI. Thank you.